Hey guys, just wanted to make this video to share my initial solo experience with you guys. So, an initial solo experience is at the very beginning of your private pilot experience as a student, and it's like the first big milestone that you're going to encounter, and it is essentially when your instructor feels confident that you can take off and land the aircraft by yourself. So he knows that you know the checklists, you know the flows, you know the procedures for taking off and landing and being in the local airport environment and conducting yourself safely. You know the emergency procedures for the aircraft. And he feels confident that you're going to be able to take off and land um, the aircraft at a relatively, usually small airport safely. So he lets you go up and do a couple landings and takeoffs by yourself. It's usually a pretty nervous time for them because it's the first time that they're letting their little bird fly on their own without them in the aircraft at all, which can probably be pretty nerve-wracking because, if something goes wrong, they might have, you know, that hanging over their head, like, I sent this person when they weren't ready. So the instructors are usually pretty nervous, but the students are really excited because it's the first time they get to go up by themselves. So that's generally how it works. So here's a general overview of what this is kind of going to look like. So in the red box, you can see that is the Indianapolis International Airport. That's where we're going to depart from with the instructor in the right seat and me in the left seat. We'll take off and we'll fly to the little airport inside of the green box, which is just outside of Indy. We'll have to leave Indy airspace, which is those magenta circles you see, the big magenta circles you see around the Indy airport. So what that looks like is basically like this red line here. So follow the arrows. We took off out of Indy. We took off to the northwest. We left the Indianapolis airspace, and then we did some takeoffs and landings, and ended parking the aircraft there while we swapped seats and whatnot while he got out. And then after that, I went off and did a couple takeoffs and landings by myself and stayed in the traffic pattern. And traffic pattern is just basically like a little rectangular racetrack-ish pattern, but not perfectly racetrack pattern because it's a square where you take off, take a left turn, another left turn, another left turn, until you're facing the other end of the runway where you took off, and your landing kind of looks like this. So here is a much closer view of the Hendricks County Airport. And where that little X is in the middle of the picture is where we parked the plane. The instructor got out, and then I started the plane back up, and then I taxied out of the ramp area and down to the bottom, and you can see that little that's called taxiway alpha, but you can see that little beneath the black line, which is the runway. The bottom of that is, you'll see the number 36, and that's the runway that we're going to be taking off of and landing back onto, and that's where basically we'll start and stop the square pattern that we make in the traffic pattern as we take off and land. So here's a shortened video of what that was like.
Start exterior lights, set engine master on and guarded. Glow extinguished to the line complete. Clear prop! Instruments and enunciations check. Start check is complete. set, flexible spring, current rail power check, power lever is idle, MFE EIS, motor switch check, test check, MFE is back to map page, run checklist complete.